I was born on the Gold Coast, and Dracula's was something that Mum had been when I was a child, and she used to bring back photos from Dracula's, and I always sort of got a little bit obsessed with it. I think it was something that in my mind I always wanted to be a part of it as I was growing up, because I love performing. And I remember getting the chance to see the show when I was about 16 years old, and from that day on I was like, this is what I want to do.
How did you feel when you were told that Dracula's is closing?
Oh my God. It was a total shock.
Dracula's is one of Australia's longest running theatre restaurants, with one venue on the Gold Coast and this one here in Carlton, Melbourne. Started by the Newman family and still run by the Newman family, it's one of the few places where you can be buried alive. Hop on a ghost train. Drink blood. Just kidding, it's a jelly shot. And shop for nipple tassels all under the one roof. But first, a little bit about dinner theatre.
Back in the 70s and 80s, it seemed everyone in Perth went to Dirty Dick's.
Kitsch, often risque, sometimes even offensive, theatre restaurants were once the place to be.
Hi, we've just taken a break from rehearsals and come out to invite you to come in and see just why the Swagman's so popular.
There's the irresistible Swagman Smorgasbord with its unbelievable variety in every section.
Witness a stage show full of magic and mayhem. Witches in breeches, boils with wicked fun.
Dinner theatre is often based on a gimmick, but you guys have been able to maintain this for 37 years.
It's like a gimmick that went for too long and is still going and people are still loving it.
You are dead now!
You know, gimmicky operations, whether they're cocktail bars or theme restaurants, you know, you're lucky if you get 5 or 6 years. It should have died out. I don't know why it's still going, but we certainly put a huge amount of effort into it.
Same night, party people, how we feeling? We all right?
Stewart Reeve has been the principal performer here for the last 5 years. This must be such an interesting gig as an actor.
It's an incredible gig. It's not like any other gig that's out there.
As the music kicks in, you'll feel a gradual stone come over you.
He started out as an understudy, quickly becoming a permanent fixture on the Dracula's stage.
It's a huge part of my life. I don't even think of it as a job. It's just something that I'm so incredibly passionate about that you know, half the time I forget to sign the timesheet because I just love being here. It's my home. It's my safe space.
But after almost 4 decades, and while the Gold Coast venue continues to thrive, Dracula's Melbourne is closing its doors.
Advanced bookings are slowing down, and while it's still a viable theatre, you know, we're still getting audiences every night, but there's the sense that it's just starting to go into sort of gradual decline. One of the biggest challenges in business is knowing when to jump off.
Welcome along, guys. It's so lovely to have you in. Give yourselves a round of applause.
When you look back to the 80s where theatre restaurant sort of became the genre of bawdy comedy, and there were some real shockers. And for good reason, the industry has a sort of a fairly tainted image. When people have sort of said, how do you sort of describe Dracula's? Gloriously kitsch comes to mind. Dracula's tends to be a bit of a flash from the past. It's like bad taste presented with extreme professionalism.
The Dracula style is funny, it's edgy, it's out there. Pushes the buttons a bit.
A little bit gay. Guilty. Shall we dance? We got folks from England. Guys, your Brexits are here and here tonight, okay? We've got folks in from China. Hey! Oh my God, ni hao! See all those flashing horns out there tonight? Yeah. They made that shit.
There are elements of this show that are quite edgy. There's certain jokes in there that touch on cultural and racial issues. Do those jokes still get laughs? And if so, why do you think so?
Yeah, again, you know, like that's a recipe that's really hard to get right.
We got folks in from your favourite place.
You know it. India!
Hey, there they are. Oh, I didn't meet them on the way in.
No.
Pretty sure we spoke on the phone though.
It's definitely all in the delivery, and it's about reading the audience night after night, because a joke that may work on a Friday or Saturday may not work on a Tuesday.
It's a hard thing to get right, and we never get it completely right. You know, every night is a different audience and they take the comedy differently.
So whether it makes you laugh or cringe, one thing is for sure, Dracula's holds a special place in a lot of people's hearts. With only a few weeks left, every show is now sold out, and there have been outpourings of love and nostalgia for this Melbourne institution.
For me, it's sort of like losing a family member, because I've been such a part of it, and it's been such a support network for me, and such a great place to be a part of. Every night is a closure, so it has a very big depth to it. I'm certainly putting more energy into every performance that I'm doing. I'm making sure that I give it everything, and it's going to be very sad to close the coffin lid one more final time and, you know, put the nails in it and send it down, but that coffin essentially is going to be filled with some incredible memories, you know.